This is not a madly hot sauce, although it does have some kick to it, especially for those who are not accustomed to spicy foods. What's important about this sauce is that it delivers a lot of flavonoids and other polyphenols that are flavors that we have no words for in English or any other language. If you want to know the scientific details about this, read Volume 3 of my cookbook series. While you can use this sauce directly, it's more valuable as the spicy component of other sauces, as explained on the previous page of the annotations here. Have the ingredients here for this quite simple recipe. I've got the rice wine vinegar. What's unusual here is I'm using vodka. You need alcohol in order to extract certain flavors, polyphenols, out of either tomatoes or chilies or a number of other plant substances that aren't soluble in water, but they're very soluble in alcohol. This is an old trick, but rarely applied to chili sauces. I've got the sugar here and the salt, and the next step is cutting these chilies up coarsely, remove the stems, cut them up coarsely, and get a pan searing hot, as you'll see in just a moment. When the pan is smoking hot, add the chilies in with no oil or anything, just dry roast them here. What they look like after about 2 minutes. After about 4 minutes, there's quite a bit of blistering and blackness on them. I'm going to turn the heat off, but I'm going to leave them in the pan now for just a little bit longer. Okay, it's been 5 or 6 minutes now. There's a deep aroma of caramelization that's taking place on the chilies here. Now I'm going to add water and the vodka. There's no heat on the pan. This is just the residual heat in the bottom doing the cooking right now. Okay, I transferred this to the cup of the stick blender. I'm adding the salt, sugar, the garlic that was chopped up a while ago. Give it a chance to develop the flavors on the surface there. And the rice wine vinegar. Then you can use the same pan again, just wipe it out and transfer the pureed contents back to the pan, bring it up to a simmer. What it looks like after about 5 minutes, gentle simmering. And keep it going just a little bit longer here. And here we have it after about 7.5, 8 minutes, something like that. You can see that it's becoming thick now. That's the stage we're looking for. Now I'm going to remove this pan from the heat and just let it cool to room temperature for a few minutes here. Then you pass it to the medium plate food mill. And then finally you add that tablespoon of vodka in at the end. You should actually be able to taste the vodka in this sauce. Put this in a bottle, and for best results, let it sit in the refrigerator for a couple of days before you use it, but it's pretty tasty right now even. I'm very pleased to announce the release of Volume 3, the focus on food chemistry. I want to clear up a few things about these 3 volumes. First, they all contain completely different information. There's no duplication, they're not revisions. When I wrote Volume 1, I had 2.5 years of YouTube videos to cover. People had been asking me for the printed list of ingredients for all of those dishes, and so I obliged. There are recipes with stepwise directions and many tips offered throughout, as well as an extensive history of Russian cuisine over the last 1,000 years, but Volume 1 is very different from Volume 2 and 3. In Volumes 2 and 3, I only had about 9 months of YouTube recipes to cover in each, so I was able to provide stepwise directions for everything. In Volume 2, I included a lot of additional information about cooking and some simple examples of flavor chemistry to set the stage for Volume 3. While Volume 2 hopefully got you thinking about some of the processes that go on in cooking and how flavors are expressed and sensed at the molecular level, the topic was painted with pretty broad strokes to make it easy to digest, pun intended. Volume 3 is a milestone of the series, in which I've included an entire introductory course in food chemistry, which is why Volume 3 is about 70 pages longer than Volume 2. If you just want the recipes, that's okay too. You don't have to read the first few chapters, but if you've ever been curious about what influences tastes and flavors and the rationale for deciding cooking times and temperatures and why things taste different when they're combined in different ways, this book will answer many of those questions. It also paves the way for Volume 4, which will be next year. If you want to know more about my adventures as a chef around the world and have some great laughs along the way, be sure to check out the video tour of my book, 40 Years in One Night. It's up on YouTube right now. Click the link. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.